Have you ever wondered which Native American tribe is the richest in the United States? When most people think of Native American history, they imagine stories of hardship, loss, and survival. But what if I told you there's a tribe that has risen from centuries of struggle to become one of the wealthiest communities in America today? In this video, we're going to uncover the surprising story behind the richest Native American tribe, how they built their fortune, the challenges they overcame, and what their wealth means for their people and culture. Get ready to dive into a fascinating journey of resilience, strategy, and success that few people know about. So, who exactly holds the title of the richest Native American tribe today? To answer that, we need to look beyond casino headlines or business figures. We need to explore a people whose journey spans centuries, whose resilience has shaped the American Southwest, and whose culture continues to thrive in the modern world. We're talking about the Navajo Nation. To truly understand why the Navajo tribe is considered one of the richest Native American tribes, we must first explore their deep and fascinating history. The Navajo people, or Dine as they call themselves, which means, the people, in their native language, have lived in the American Southwest for centuries. Their origins trace back to the Athabascan-speaking peoples who migrated from the northern regions of what is now Canada and Alaska. This migration took place over 1,000 years ago, and the Navajo settled primarily in areas that are now Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. The Navajo were skilled at adapting to their harsh desert environment, developing a rich culture centered around farming, weaving, and herding sheep. Their exquisite craftsmanship, especially in weaving intricate rugs and blankets, became world-renowned and laid the foundation for their economic wealth. Throughout their history, the Navajo faced many challenges, including forced displacement during the tragic Long Walk of the 1860s, when thousands were forced to march hundreds of miles away from. When discussing the richest Native American tribe, the Navajo Nation stands out not only due to its vast land base but also for its remarkable ability to build economic wealth through strategic use of natural resources, cultural heritage, and innovative ventures. This story of economic resilience and diversification stretches over many decades, combining traditional wisdom with modern entrepreneurship. Vast land and natural resources. The Navajo Nation's reservation covers approximately 27,000 square miles across Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah, making it the largest land base held by a Native American tribe in the United States. The reservation's sheer size provides numerous opportunities and resources that have been central to the tribe's economic foundation. Historically, the Navajo Nation's wealth initially stemmed from the extraction of natural resources. The lands contain rich deposits of coal, uranium, oil, and natural gas. Mining operations, particularly coal mining in the Four Corners region, began in the mid-20th century and generated substantial income and employment for Navajo people. During the 1940s to 1980s, coal was the backbone of the Navajo economy, fueling power plants across the Southwest. Similarly, uranium mining played a critical role during the Cold War era when the United States required uranium for nuclear weapons and energy. While this mining brought economic benefits, it also exposed Navajo miners and their communities to serious health hazards, including radiation exposure. The Navajo Nation has since pursued extensive environmental cleanup and health programs, highlighting a complex legacy of economic gain and social cost. In recent decades, as fossil fuel industries declined, the Navajo Nation began transitioning toward more sustainable and diversified economic activities. Gaming and tourism. One of the most transformative economic sectors for the Navajo Nation is gaming. The tribe operates multiple casinos and entertainment facilities, including the popular Twin Arrows Navajo Casino Resort near Flagstaff, Arizona, and the Fire Rock Navajo Casino in New Mexico. These casinos draw tourists and gamblers from around the country, providing steady revenue streams that help fund tribal government programs, education, and infrastructure. Gaming revenue has been a lifeline, enabling the Navajo government to improve roads, schools, healthcare facilities, and housing projects. Unlike many reservations struggling with poverty, the Navajo Nation has leveraged gaming to improve the quality of life for thousands of tribal members. Tourism linked to the tribe's rich cultural heritage also generates significant income. The Navajo people are known for their traditional arts, including intricate weaving, silver and turquoise jewelry, pottery, and sand painting. Tourists flock to Navajo-owned shops and markets to purchase these authentic crafts, supporting local artisans. Moreover, the natural beauty of Navajo lands attracts millions each year. Iconic sites such as Monument Valley, often featured in films and advertisements, Canyon de Chelly, and Antelope Canyon provide breathtaking landscapes and deep cultural significance. The Navajo Nation has developed visitor centers, guided tours, and cultural programs that both educate and generate income. By investing in tourism infrastructure and marketing, the tribe has successfully made its lands a destination for those interested in Native American culture and the American Southwest's natural wonders. Entrepreneurship and small business development. Another cornerstone of Navajo economic success is fostering entrepreneurship among tribal members. The Navajo government runs various programs to support small business owners, including loans, training, and networking opportunities. Many Navajo entrepreneurs blend tradition with innovation. For example, some artisans have modernized their crafts for online sales, reaching customers worldwide through e-commerce platforms. Others have started agricultural businesses, cultivating traditional crops like corn and squash using sustainable farming techniques adapted to the arid climate. Tech startups have also begun emerging within the Navajo community, reflecting a growing interest in education and technology. Youth and adults alike are pursuing degrees and careers in fields such as software development, engineering, and renewable energy. Education as a catalyst for economic growth. Understanding that education is the foundation for sustainable economic development, the Navajo Nation has invested heavily in its youth. Scholarship programs, tribal colleges such as Dine College, and partnerships with state universities have expanded opportunities for Navajo students. These efforts help equip tribal members with skills to participate in diverse economic sectors beyond natural resource extraction or traditional crafts. Many graduates have become professionals in law, healthcare, engineering, and business, further strengthening the tribe's economic future. Renewable energy initiatives. In recent years, the Navajo Nation has taken bold steps toward renewable energy. With abundant sunlight and wind, the reservation is ideal for solar and wind power projects. Several large-scale solar farms and wind turbines have been constructed, sometimes in partnership with private companies. These projects create jobs, generate clean energy, and provide new revenue streams that reduce reliance on fossil fuels. They also align with environmental stewardship values deeply embedded in Navajo culture. The Navajo Tribal Utility Authority, NTUA, actively develops and manages these renewable energy assets, aiming to supply power to Navajo homes and businesses and potentially export surplus energy to neighboring regions. Despite these impressive developments, the Navajo Nation faces ongoing challenges. Poverty and unemployment remain higher than national averages, especially in remote rural areas. Many Navajos still lack access to reliable electricity, clean water, and healthcare. The COVID-19 pandemic revealed and exacerbated many vulnerabilities, prompting urgent calls for improved infrastructure and social services. The Navajo government balances the need for economic growth with cultural preservation and environmental protection. For example, debates continue over the impact of new mining projects or large-scale development on sacred sites and traditional lands. Furthermore, governance complexity and funding constraints sometimes slow progress, requiring innovative solutions and partnerships. The Navajo Nation's economic story is far from complete. The tribe's leadership is actively exploring new avenues for prosperity, including expanding digital infrastructure to support remote work and education, developing ecotourism that respects environmental limits, and encouraging cultural revitalization as both a social and economic asset. By embracing a holistic vision that integrates culture, community well-being, and economic opportunity, the Navajo Nation aims to build on its rich history and natural advantages to ensure a sustainable and prosperous future for generations to come. Today, the Navajo Nation stands as a striking symbol of indigenous resilience and modern sovereignty. With over 400,000 enrolled members and the largest land base of any Native American tribe in the United States, spanning parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah, the Navajo are more than a tribal government. They are a nation within a nation. And in recent decades, they've become one of the most economically influential tribes in the country. At the heart of the Navajo Nation's financial transformation lies its growing portfolio of business ventures. While the tribe once relied heavily on resource extraction, particularly coal, oil, and natural gas, today's leadership is pushing for diversification. Enter the Navajo Transitional Energy Company, NTC, a tribal enterprise that manages multi-million-dollar coal operations and has acquired interests in energy projects beyond Navajo lands, including mines in Montana and Wyoming. NTC has generated over $100 million in revenue annually, helping fund critical services like education and health care for tribal members. But economic power isn't only about industry, it's also about investing in the future. In recent years, the Navajo Nation has prioritized renewable energy, launching solar farms near Kayenta and exploring wind power. These aren't just symbolic gestures, they're a bid to take control of their own energy destiny and step away from the boom-and-bust cycle of fossil fuels. The Navajo Nation also operates successful hospitality ventures, such as Navajo Nation Gaming Enterprise, which runs casinos and hotels that create jobs and boost tourism revenue. In 2022 alone, Navajo Gaming Enterprises generated tens of millions in profit and supported over 1,000 jobs, many of them filled by tribal members. Unlike many smaller tribes, the Navajo Nation runs an expansive government that mirrors that of a small state. With a three-branch system, executive, legislative, and judicial, the tribe has the capacity to make and enforce laws, run police departments, and manage large-scale budgets. This level of self-governance has granted the Navajo increasing political leverage at both the state and federal levels. Their leaders regularly sit at the table with U.S. senators, governors, and even presidents to shape policy on indigenous rights, resource management, and infrastructure. A powerful example of their political clout came during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Navajo Nation was hit hard in the early months, but through decisive leadership and community action, they became a model of how to respond. They built up health systems, ran extensive public health campaigns in both English and Dine Bizad, the Navajo language, and coordinated one of the most successful vaccination campaigns in the country. Their efforts gained national attention, and prompted the federal government to allocate over $1.8 billion in relief and infrastructure funding to the tribe, one of the largest packages ever given to a Native nation. Economic growth and political influence haven't come at the cost of cultural identity. In fact, the Navajo Nation has doubled down on preserving the Dine language and traditions. Schools on the reservation now incorporate Navajo philosophy, storytelling, and language into the curriculum. In higher education, Dine College and Navajo Technical University are cornerstones of indigenous-led education, producing graduates who are trained in modern sciences while grounded in traditional Navajo values. These institutions not only serve the Navajo people but also serve as a model for other tribes aiming to build their own educational systems. Perhaps one of the most underreported aspects of the Navajo Nation's modern role is its increasing role as a giver rather than a receiver. During the COVID crisis, while still grappling with their own challenges, Navajo chapters coordinated supply drives and offered support to Hopi, Zuni, and even non-native communities in need. They've contributed to disaster relief efforts, water infrastructure, and intertribal scholarships. It's a quiet, powerful form of leadership, one that rejects the stereotype of Native nations as always in need, and instead positions the Navajo as a people with the strength and resources to uplift others. The Navajo Nation today is not without its challenges: high unemployment, lack of clean water in some remote areas, and lingering scars from centuries of colonization. But what makes them remarkable is not just their wealth, it's how they're choosing to use it. They are building sovereignty not only through business or governance but through language, education, and mutual support. They are asserting their right to shape the future in their own image, rooted in Hazo, the Navajo philosophy of balance, harmony, and beauty. From a people once displaced and nearly destroyed, to a nation now setting the standard for indigenous resilience and leadership, the Navajo have become one of the richest tribes, not only in wealth, but in wisdom, endurance, and vision. The story of the Navajo Nation is not just about financial wealth, it's about endurance, identity, and reclaiming power on their own terms. From surviving centuries of displacement and cultural suppression to becoming one of the most economically and politically powerful native tribes today, the Navajo people have shown what true strength looks like. Their journey teaches us something deeper than dollars and land. It's a lesson in resilience, in the power of community, and in the importance of self-determination. It shows that with unity, cultural pride, and strategic vision, a people once written off by history can rise, not just to survive, but to thrive. The Navajo Nation reminds us that wealth isn't just about money, it's about preserving language, uplifting the next generation, and building a future where your people no longer have to choose between tradition and progress. So now, I'd love to hear from you. What does real wealth mean to you? What inspired you most about the Navajo story? Leave a comment below. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden layers of American history, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got many more stories coming that explore the power, culture, and legacy of the indigenous peoples who shaped this land. If this video made you think, or even surprised you, share it with someone else. Let's keep these conversations going, and bring more eyes to the stories that matter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.